Hey, it's Josie with Affirmation Pod, your home for self-care and reflection. I hope as you're listening to this, you are being gentle with yourself and not walking under a cloud of self-criticism, but allowing yourself the freedom to move, to grow, to heal. Welcome to new listeners. Welcome back to returning listeners. Thank you so much to everyone, again, who helped me with my Spotify issues. In case you are listening on Apple Podcasts or another platform, but you want to listen on Spotify, feel free to do a search under Affirmation Pod. If you were listening in Spotify and you're having troubles finding the episodes, go into the app, click on the 3 dots on the top right corner, choose Stop Following, and then look up Affirmation Pod in the main search, and you should be able to get all the episodes again. Big shout out and thank you to Leanne for helping me, because I also have issues now in Podcast Addict. If you haven't been getting the most recent episodes, like episodes 117, 118, 119, 120, hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, email, and I'll direct you to the person at Podcast Addict who can help you. This episode is a listener request. That should actually be plural listeners because it's a topic many of you have written in about. But I'll read one from Chris. He said, "Hi, Josie. I was wondering if it would be okay for me to submit a podcast request. I'm having difficulty overcoming a cycle of nothingness. What I mean is that I keep not going into work and convincing myself to take the day off and then internally saying, I will definitely go tomorrow. I would love to hear some ways to help me get back into a healthy routine with work again. Something to remind myself that it's okay, I can do it. If you consider this idea, feel free to ask for any more detail if you'd like. Thanks again." So thanks, Chris, because of your request and requests from people who actually don't have a job right now. So there really isn't a lot of obligation to get out of bed in the morning. And some requests are from students because their schedule is so flexible and there's either nothing scheduled in the morning or sometimes it's a class that there's no accountability for attending. Everyone who's requested an episode along these lines has a different situation. But ultimately, we've all been there. And so I want to address it in this episode. This is Affirmations when you don't want to get out of bed in the morning. Taking a deep breath now. And a couple more. Let's take another one. And a third breath. All right. I don't want to get out of bed. And I could list many reasons why I don't want to get out of bed. I could list many reasons why I want to just stay in bed. I just don't feel good. I don't feel excited. I don't feel motivated. I don't feel happy. But it's a pretty good time right now to remind myself, even if I don't feel good, I can still do good, I can still talk good, and I can still think good. Grammar doesn't matter here. I give myself space to have my feelings, whatever they are. I'm not running from them. I'm not ignoring them. I'm also giving myself space to make choices that aren't based on my feelings, but based on the best judgment for me. And I'm not going to ignore that part of me that does want to get out of bed. It might be pretty quiet, that part of me right now, but I'm going to give myself the time to check in with myself. And yeah, what does that part of me that wants to get out of bed, what does it want to say? I realize the strength, energy, and ability to get out of bed isn't going to happen like waving a magic wand. But I take ownership of being the MVP of my support system. And as the MVP of my support system, I exercise compassion. I pay attention to my needs. And I practice good judgment. I remember that my feelings will follow as I choose what leads to health, fulfillment, and wholeness. I remember happiness, it's not a destination. Happiness cannot be bought or sold or traded. Happiness will never invite me to the party. Happiness is a choice. It's my choice. Happiness is an inside job. And I can choose to live this day one step at a time, 1 minute at a time, one thought at a time. I can simplify things, and I can listen to what will give me the best day that I can give myself. So again, today, I may not feel good, but I can do good, talk good, and think good. This is my day. I'm gonna own it. It's mine. This is my day. That is my gift for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If Affirmation Pod is valuable to you, makes a difference in your life, there's 2 ways you can support Affirmation Pod. One is by going to Apple Podcasts, formerly known as iTunes, leave a rating or a rating with a review. The other is you can pick up the Affirmation Pod workbook by going to affirmationpod.com/workbook. That's affirmationpod.com/workbook. I usually say here, now go be you, know you, and love you. But I think for this one, I'm going to say, now go do good, talk good, and think good. This is Josie with Affirmation Pod. Bye for now.
This has been a Calm Clear Now Network production. Executive producer Shell Hamilton. To discover more meditation, visualization, and affirmation podcasts like this one, visit calmclearnow.com.